Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel, Jane Lorenzo.
Wait, what did you say?
Jane Lorenzo.
Have a good one. Mwah.
You guys better subscribe and watch my friend on his YouTube channel. He is kicking ass.
They bought the judge.
I sentence you to life in prison without chance of parole.
Hey, step back! Can't you control your animals? Stay back!
I give you 20 to 1 on Andre.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Don't let them turn you into something you're not.
I won't fight anymore. Let me know when you're ready to fight.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie review. And this time we're going to be talking about In Hell.
Nobody's ever gone, as long as there's someone to remember them.
We will get out of this jail together.
In Hell came out in 2003 and tells the story of a man who must survive in a prison where hardened criminals battle to the death for the warden's entertainment. And now there's more detail to the story than that. I'm not going to go into, I'm not going to spoil how it ends or anything like that, but basically, Jean-Claude Van Damme's character is, living a decent life. He has a construction job, on wife and everything like that. He's just coming home to her one night. Comes across him maybe spending a little bit too much time with his work, though. But they're planning, to reconnect at, dinner when he gets home. And what happens is someone breaks into the house before he gets home and kills his wife. So Jean-Claude Van Damme chases the guy down, but the guy manages to eventually get away, but he is arrested and they're taken to court over it, whereas the judge is apparently paid off because the guy's from a wealthy sort of crime syndicate or something like that. But Jean-Claude Van Damme snaps over it, takes one of the security guard's weapons, and shoots and kills the guy, and thus he's taken to prison. So we have our movie there, and like I said, it's a very corrupt system at this prison. You know, there's wardens who are, you know, making bets with each other over who's going to win. Then you have Lawrence Taylor's character, you know, a former NFL player. You know, he plays a guy who, you know, sort of comes across, so yeah, he's like this really rough killer, you know, you have to be careful, and he's your cellmate, you know, he killed his last 3 cellmates. But we see him writing, and there may be more to him than that. So basically, the real story, though, it's this movie isn't just an action film. It's almost as much a drama, because it's really, of course, yeah, there's memorable fight scenes, but it's really about Jean-Claude Van Damme's character's struggle to retain his humanity. You know, he has to fight to survive. But over the course of the movie, you know, he sort of starts to become the system because of what he's been having to do. You know, he sort of becomes this, you know, sort of renowned fighter that everyone's betting on in this prison, and it's about whether he can sort of eventually pull himself out of that and retain part of himself that his wife loved. So Jean-Claude Van Damme has a couple different looks throughout this movie as well. From that to that, and that's when he sort of really embraces the kind of person he is at this prison. But I found the film to be pretty interesting, definitely very different, not a conventional Van Damme film. And I think it's probably one of his best I've seen. Now I'm still partial to things like, you know, Universal Soldier and stuff like that, but In Hell is definitely an experience. You know, obviously there's inspiration taken from films like Shawshank Redemption, especially. A little bit of The Green Mile, maybe, and different stories like that. You know, some people say, well, they just ripped it off and made it, you know, an action movie. I don't know. Still, it makes for a quality story, and definitely one of the most mature and sort of grounded and self-serious stories you'll ever see Van Damme in, that I've ever seen him in. So I appreciate it. That was a more character and, you know, sort of psyche-driven almost than the fights themselves, which are still pretty good. You know, they're some of the harder-hitting, more realistically portrayed kind of fights you could see Van Damme be featured in. So those don't really disappoint either. And the finale is, you know, pretty entertaining as well. I'm not going to spoil it. I think it goes in a pretty good direction. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's acting in the movie, you know, I'm not going to say he's, you know, this great Oscar-winning actor, but, you know, it's obviously probably one of his better performances. You know, he had to sort of push himself probably a little bit more than he usually does in this movie, because there's this moth that visits him when he's in this, you know, sort of secluded off cell. Sort of meant to represent his wife and everything and his internal struggle with himself now. And I thought that was pretty well portrayed. So, yeah, overall, In Hell, I'd rate it, honestly, maybe a B-, maybe a solid B, somewhere around there. I think it's definitely worth checking out. I got it on a triple feature set, along with Derailed, which I seen years ago. I don't know if I'm going to go back and review that or not, but of course In Hell, and then Wake of Death, which I'm looking forward to watching quite a bit. But yeah, so this is you know, continuing. This is like $10, give or take, on Amazon. So just order it. Yeah, so I know I've been reviewing a lot of random action movies lately, but I've just been in this great mood for them. Gonna be getting to a couple more Van Dammes. I'm probably getting back to some of the more recent, you know, Scott Adkins flicks, and hopefully throw some more Arnold Schwarzeneggers in there. We'll see. And yeah, we will be getting back to horror movies. Don't worry, that's still my core. That's still my roots. So yeah, let me guys talk about In Hell if you've seen it, or if you haven't, or have. I don't know. What's your favorite Van Damme film? Do you prefer movies like this, or a little bit different, or do you just kind of like the straight up martial arts action type stuff? So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.